Want another beatdown, Rhea? I'm ready for your lame-ass karate this time.
It's not lame-ass karate. It's Cobra Kai.
Hey, welcome to Talking Pop Culture with Jake D. Thanks for stopping by the channel. We're going to be talking about Cobra Kai Season 1 in review today. But before we get started with that, please remember to like the video, share it with your friends on social media, and do consider subscribing to the channel. It's one of the best ways to help a new creator like myself reach a wider audience here on YouTube and grow the channel to continue to bring you great content moving forward. And now, on with the video. Yes! That is what I'm looking for out of a TV series based on the original Karate Kid. What you saw just there is one of the new characters, Miguel, dealing with some kids who'd been bullying him after training with Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is, in a word, at least for Season 1, nearly perfect. This is a show that has taken a vision of relaunching an IP that had gone long since dormant and reimagining it today in what I would tell you is exactly the right way to deal with an IP that's sat for a long time like this. The key piece that's present throughout the entirety of Season 1 of Cobra Kai is an absolute reverence for and even deference to the original material.
Daniel LaRusso, Miyagi Do Karate versus John Lawrence of the Cobra Kai.
So we both made it to the finals. It was 2-2.
What happened? Who won?
LaRusso won. I lost.
What Cobra Kai does is it picks up in the modern day with these characters that we saw 30 some odd years ago. And it treats every portion of this IP with a respect, a reverence, and a love that most repurposers today just don't understand. Your Jar Jar Abrams of the worlds, your Rian Johnsons of the worlds, your Kathleen Kennedys of the worlds, and your Alex Kurtzmans out there, they truly don't get what the creators of Cobra Kai have done. And what that is delivered an amazing, amazing piece of entertainment, and one that everybody can enjoy.
Man, it's been too long. There's this kid, Robbie, he works at the dealership. We train together. Ma, I tell you, I just didn't realize I missed it so much. Miss him so much.
Mr. Miyagi, he was so good to us.
Ma, the best.
One of the greatest things about Cobra Kai, beyond just holding a reverence for the original IP, is really treating the characters with respect and expanding their stories. Everybody has a very distinctive character arc throughout Season 1 that makes you feel for and connect with and root for many of your main characters that we see throughout. Miguel starts off getting bullied. Johnny starts off nearly at rock bottom. Daniel-san, you know, he if there is an antagonist in Season 1 of Cobra Kai, it is Daniel LaRusso. But you don't look at him as an evil character. He is, you know, once again, somebody who's evolved and grown in his life and moved into a new position. And the entire treatment of the entire IP is just wonderful. We hear a lot these days from the Hollywood types about their requirements for diversity and inclusion and all of these things out there, and we see it thrown in our face time after time after time, whether it's Doctor Who, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Star Trek. I mean, if you look at Star Trek Discovery, Old STD, the best thing they could say about themselves when asked what made their show unique was diversity, as if they'd never watched a single series of Star Trek before in their entire history, because one thing Star Trek's always done well is diversity. Great piece that we experience throughout Cobra Kai is the fact that there is a wide group of people, regardless of skin tone, regardless of sex or gender, no matter what, these people blend together as a whole to build a wonderful cast of characters whom the audience really enjoys watching and cares about, wants to know what happens to them next. And let me tell you what, Hollywood, this is how you do it. When the Fandom Menace talks about the fact that forced diversity or things shoved down your throat and woke agendas get it wrong, well, that's everything that Cobra Kai gets right. And that's how we meet Johnny Lawrence again. Not exactly a picture of, well, success. Let's take a look at what he likes to eat for breakfast. Fried bologna. Good stuff. No, not really. So, clearly, Johnny's not a successful man when we pick up here in Cobra Kai. Throughout this season, Johnny is really portrayed as, honestly, our main protagonist throughout. And the trials that he goes through, his point of view, and really trying to clean up his life and make something for himself is one of the biggest parts that makes him become, from something of the antagonist that we knew in The Karate Kid, into a really sympathetic character that you really want to root for.
Yeah, trust me, you guys are pissing off the wrong guy on the wrong day, all right?
Oh, really?
Really.
Get the hell out of here, loser.
And this is really, truly Johnny's first step down that path to changing things and making himself the man that he perhaps wanted to be or needed to be. The opportunity to view the events of the past from a different point of view that we haven't seen before is really enlightening. And getting that opportunity to really understand and flesh out the character of Johnny Lawrence is really dynamite work that we get from Cobra Kai. You knew when the series was titled Cobra Kai that there was going to be something different going on, and the writers and the showrunners did not disappoint. One of the things that works really well for me is that Ralph Macchio is a big part of this. He's a big part of creating it, and his heart is in this new creation that Cobra Kai truly is. We get to step beyond the, I guess, preconceived notions that we had as it related to the Karate Kid movies and truly become a part of a larger world. When directors and writers like the Rian Johnsons of the world say that they're going about to subvert expectations in a way to jerk you out of what you knew about the past, they oftentimes get it just wrong. We all saw how the Star Wars, the Disney trilogy, really just careened off a cliff as a result of truly the agenda, particularly by Rian Johnson, although J.J. Abrams is not innocent in this either. Now, it would be fair to say that Cobra Kai has taken a similar approach in changing people's perceptions of the world that they're in. The difference is that this is done with love and with care, and if you're going to subvert expectations, the way you do it has to be earned. And every moment in Cobra Kai Season 1 is earned, and you truly develop a love for the entire character base that's presented to us, and in some ways perhaps start to look at your old hero a little differently, but in a way that's natural and believable, as opposed to simply twisting things around just to do it. Because that's not how Cobra Kai approaches it. And this is how you do it right, Ryan. If you want to subvert expectations, you've got to earn it. And Cobra Kai earns it.
This guy really had it in for me.
Yeah, well, you did move in on my girl.
Well, she actually wasn't really your girl anymore, was she? I mean... all right, that's all water under the bridge.
Wait, is this the karate guy? The guy from the tournament?
Oh, this is the guy whose ass you kicked.
Here's one of our reintroductions to Daniel. You can see from the interaction that we've got here that, you know, both of these guys still dwell on the past, and they haven't moved past it in some ways. While Daniel's definitely made a good life for himself, and we see some scenes of him working to be a good father, we also get a lot of scenes showing that he's still dwelling in the past and where this came from, and all those things that happened to him as kids, and never really let go of it. Johnny, on the other hand, works very hard to try to achieve the same success that Daniel had, and throughout the season we see examples of it, whether it's Johnny finally deciding to clean up his apartment and be more of a role model, whether it's in him training Miguel in order to be able to defend himself against the bullies, which is a really interesting way to parallel, because in some ways Johnny was a bully back in the day, and now he's helping a kid to protect himself against the kids that are just mistreating one another, is really the way to think about it. And doing that results in him having success, ultimately culminating in another interesting delve into the Johnny Lawrence character, where we see his guilt over the mistakes that he's made, not just back in the day that we saw in Karate Kid, but in the interim time period between the two properties. Johnny is trying to redeem his mistakes as a father, and they don't hold back on that, and the redemption arc that he's trying to go through is very satisfying. It lets us also have an opportunity to see what that did to Robbie Keane, Johnny's son, and the relationship that develops between Daniel and Robbie is, Robbie reaching out for a father character and a figure and a role model, because he didn't have that from Johnny growing up. And the stories there and the motivations and everything are very clear. They're understood and they're relatable. And beyond being, something of an action show, there's also this just amazing heart to what we get to see in season 1 of Cobra Kai that is just so satisfying and well done. I can't even begin to truly describe it, because every moment is earned. This all ultimately culminates in a new All Valley tournament where we get to see Johnny's protege Miguel matched up against Daniel's protege in Robbie.
I found his weakness, Sensei. It's his shoulder. Look, I know we want to win, but it's got to be the right way. We don't have to fight dirty.
And that's the end of the All Valley tournament. Miguel won, but you can tell Johnny feels like he's lost. He knows that he's made mistakes, and he's still got more to do to get things right. And it was just so good seeing him change and have this wonderful arc across the course of this season. When you got a guy who starts out as, really not a particularly wonderful dude, and by the end of the season, he's developed into somebody with a heart and with morals and with a character that even he did not know was deep inside him, you know that you've done something right with the writing. That's one of the things that makes this just basically a perfect season of television. And I couldn't be happier. The final scene of the season definitely leaves the viewer in anticipation of what we're going to see in season 2 of Cobra Kai.
They thought we were done. But now they see that the real story's only just begun.
And Kreese is back. I'll tell you what, for me, that was one hell of a solid way to close this season out. You've got a self-contained story that could be final, but then you bring in this particular guy whom we all know is not going to be good news for season 2. It leaves the viewer satisfied, happy, and anticipation of what's coming next, which is exactly what you want to do with a scene that closes out the first season of television. Again, Cobra Kai Season 1 is as close to a perfect season of television as could ever possibly be made. For me, this is a 10 out of 10. Absolutely recommend. You've got to sit down and watch this show because it is amazing. Lots of people are experiencing this show for the first time right now because it's just been brought to Netflix, and truthfully, not a lot of folks watched it in its previous home of YouTube. So I'm really excited that a lot of people are getting exposed to this right now, just like I did, because it was new for me when it came to Netflix, and I really hope that you get an opportunity to sit down and watch Cobra Kai as well. I'm going to be putting out a Season 2 review video in the next week or two as well, and I'm really looking forward to Season 3 that's going to launch on January 8th. This is a great show, it is well worth your time, and you really need to sit down and watch it. Thank you for sticking with me to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please do remember to like it, share this with your friends on social media, and consider subscribing to the channel. It's one of the best ways for a new creator like myself to gain traction within the YouTube algorithm and compete against your larger corporate entities and reach a much wider audience, which I really hope to do in the future. Thank you again for your time, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video.